Good afternoon. I'm going to be doing my data analysis for math scores and reading scores. My name is Nicole Yerta. This is EFD 620 measurement. As you'll look, the Alabama Reading and Math test defined is a test that is given in grades 3rd through 8th, and it's based on reading and math. The ARMT is a standards-based test, which means it measures specific skills defined for each grade by the state of Alabama. The goal is for all students to score at or above the state standard. Okay? Okay, the two elements, I need you to stand up, sir, at the computer for me. The two elements of the ARMT are reading and math. These two topics are what all students in grades 3 through 8 are graded on. So I will be giving you all the scores for 3rd grade at Moody Elementary School in reading and math, okay? The reading standards are phonetic analysis, vocabulary, comprehension strategies from literary or recreational materials, and comprehension strategies from functional, textual, or informational strategies. And these are the standards with which reading is graded on and broken up on the ARMT test. The math standards. These are all the standards in which the math test is broken up on the ARMT. We have number and operations. We have algebra standards, geometry standards, measurement standards, and data analysis and probability standards. The scores are based on a few of these areas: multiple choice and open-ended questions, the mean, which is the average of all the scores put together, the total points possible, the mean points correct, and the mean percent correct. Okay, the achievement levels are given in reading and math. Level 1 means it does not meet the standards. So if you are at level 1, you did not meet the standards on the test. Level 2 partially meets the standards. Level 3 meets the standards, and level 4 exceeds the standards. That means you went beyond. Okay, here's the ARMT test results for 2012-2013 school year at Moody Elementary School. And as you can see, it says apply advanced phonetic analysis to multiple syllable words. And points possible, you got a 7. Mean points, 4.5. Mean percent correct is 64%. Mean possible and multiple choice is 7. Mean points correct, 4.5. And then the open-ended questions, there were none on those. Then on number 2, you've got demonstrate reading vocabulary knowledge. Total points possible, 8. Mean points correct, 6.3. Mean percent correct, 79%. On multiple choice, there were 8 points possible, and there were 6.3 mean points correct. And once again, 0 open-ended questions on that part. Then on number 3, use strategies to comprehend literary recreational materials. Total points possible were 17. 9.2 are the mean percent correct. Mean points correct. And 54% was mean percent correct. There were 11 points possible on multiple choice and 6.4 of the mean percent correct on multiple choice. On this section, there were open-ended questions. There were 6 points possible, and mean points correct were 2.8. And then, use strategies to comprehend functional and textual informational materials. There are 25 total possible points, with 14.4 mean points correct and 58% of the mean percent correct. On multiple choice, there were 19 points possible. There were 11.6 mean points correct, and then there were 6 open-ended points available and 2.9 points were correct. Reading score analysis. Okay, when I looked and went back and looked at our scores to see our strengths and our weaknesses, this is what I saw. Our strength is vocabulary. In vocabulary knowledge, we have 79%. I think that has a lot to do with our reading series that we're using Harcourt, because we have 6 vocabulary words starting in kindergarten through 3rd grade that we go through every single week, and we quiz and test on those, and they are deep vocabulary words. So we have a 79% on that. Then our weaknesses, we have a few more weaknesses that we do need to work on. Applies phonetic analysis to multi-syllable words. That's 64%. We need to get that up. Use strategies, comprehend functional and textual informational materials. That was 58%. And then use strategies to comprehend literary and recreational materials. That was 54%. So we need to be looking into certain strategies that we can do to raise these numbers to where they need to be. Okay, achievement levels in reading. We've already gone over this, but then I'll tell you the percentage. At level 1, which does not meet standards, we only had 1%. Okay? Level 2, partially meets standards. We were at 19%. Level 3, that meets standards, we're at 37%. And then level 4, exceeds standards, we're at 44%. And I do like to see that 44% because it means the majority in reading exceeded the standards. So that's good, but we want to take these down here and take them up to the top. The ART results for math. And as you see, it has everything laid out. It goes over compare order and expand whole numbers. It goes over solve addition and subtraction problems, multiply whole numbers with and without grouping, divide whole numbers, model equivalent forms of fraction, and use coins to make change. And by looking at all of these percentages, it looks like we're top ranked in compare order and expand whole numbers. And we really need the most help in model equivalent forms of fractions. So that's something, even in kindergarten, we start off with learning about fractions and dividing into half and fours, and it builds with each grade. So that is something we need to look into getting better at. Dividing whole numbers is at 58%. That could be raised. Of course, all of them can be raised to be better, but let's just look on our next slide and see. Our ART results for math, okay? And here's the complete numeric and geometric patterns. Total points possible were 6. Mean points correct were 4. Mean percent correct, 69%. The multiple choice points were 3. Mean points correct, 2.5. Open-ended points possible were 3, and mean points were 1.6. The ART results for math, our geometry standards. We had a total points possible were 10. Mean points correct were 5.7. Mean percent correct was 57%. Identifies points lines, perpendicular lines, parallel lines, angles, and rays. Our points possible were 4. Our mean points correct were 17, and our mean percent correct was 43%. And then find locations on a grid using horizontal and vertical movements. Our points possible is 6. Our mean points correct is 40, and our mean percent correct is 66%. Okay, for our measurement standards, our total points possible is 6. Our mean points correct is 51, and our mean percent correct is 85%. Our measurement length in metric units, total points possible is 3. Mean points correct, 2.8. Mean percent correct, 92%. Elapsed time with calendars into the hour. Total points possible is 3. Mean points correct is 2.3. And mean percent correct is 78%. Okay, data analysis and probability standards. Our total points possible was 6. Our mean points correct is 3.9. And our mean percent correct is 65%. Recognize data as a categorical or numerical. Total points possible, 3. Mean points correct is 2.1, and mean percent correct is 69%. Determine the likelihood of different outcomes of simple events. Total points possible, 3. Mean points correct, 1.8, and mean percent correct, 60%. Okay, our math score analysis. I'm going to point out the strengths and our weaknesses on that. Our strengths, we measure length in metric units. That was 92%. That's great. Okay, determine elapsed time to the day with calendars and to the hour with a clock. That was at 78%. Our weaknesses were identify points, lines, perpendicular lines, parallel lines, angles, and rays. That was at 43%. And then model equivalent forms of fractions. That's at 46%. So we see our strengths, what we're really strong in our grade, K through 3rd, and then we see our weaknesses and what we need to work on. Our math achievement levels, level 1 does not meet standards, 2% did not. Level 2 partially meets standards, 19%. Level 3 meets standards, 25%. And level 4 exceeds standards, 55%. And I'm loving, again, that just like our reading, our math has majority up here and exceeds standards, but we need to be working to raise all these up to that level. Areas that need improvement. In reading, we need phonetic analysis, we need comprehension strategies in literary, recreational materials, functional, textual, and informational materials. We need to improve in math with numbers and operations, algebra standards, geometry standards, and data analysis and probability standards. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.